What's up, guys? Andrew here, and fixed it. Looks like maybe I've got the touch. Today I'll be reviewing Transformers the movie on Drew Reviews. So the Transformers were originally a toy line created by a company out of Japan. They were brought here to the States, and a very successful cartoon was made. And after a couple of seasons, the company that was making these toys, Hasbro, decided to make a movie. And in an attempt to make new characters, they decided to kill off the old characters. And that's what makes this movie very controversial that I'm going to be talking about today, 1986's Transformers the movie. So the premise for this story is the Autobots and Decepticons have been fighting for years, decades, maybe even centuries. And the latest battle had been fought here on Earth. And so we get what's this huge battle at Autobot City, which is the final battle between Optimus Prime and Megatron. And it's just epic as far as these characters go. You couldn't ask for a better send-off. But that really wouldn't have made all that great of a movie all the way through, just the Autobots and Decepticons. So they added this character of Unicron, this robot who is a destroyer of worlds. He's a planet unto himself, but he's an eater of other planets as well. And after the Autobots originally foil the Decepticons, how are they going to stop this gigantic robot voiced by Orson Welles, who was just awesome in this role? He actually did his dialogue 5 days before he died. And the voice actors in this movie claim that the voice director killed him by doing so many takes. Kind of humorous, I guess, in a morbid way. Along the way, we're introduced to the matrix of leadership, which Optimus Prime has had this entire time. It hadn't really been talked about. It was new to this story, and he tries to pass it on to Ultra Magnus. It eventually gets passed on to Hot Rod. And that's basically the premise of the story. The first 30 minutes is kind of old hat as far as Transformers go, but done in a great way. The animation is amazing. And then the last hour, 55 minutes or so, is the new characters that they're trying to introduce, this new toy line. So let's talk about the controversy of this film. Because in the original cartoon, these characters would get shot, get injured, and Ratchet on the Autobot side would fix them, or one of the Decepticons would fix one of the bad guys. In this movie, 7 minutes in, there's this scene where the Decepticons rip their way through the Autobot shuttle and just decimate everybody inside. I mean, beloved characters like Ironhide get it in a terrible, terrible way. Brawn, Ratchet, I can't remember who else is in that shuttle, maybe one or two others. And the Decepticons just decimate them. One of them, I think maybe it's Ratchet, his eyes flicker and glow and smoke billows out of his mouth. And it's like, holy crap, what am I watching? This is a dark, dark cartoon. And then you get to the Battle of Autobot City, where Decepticons are getting ran over by Optimus Prime, and they're all getting this battle damage, which is really cool, which you never really saw in the cartoon. And you get that final epic battle between Megatron and Optimus Prime, where they're both just the worse for wear, left for dead at the end of it. And just an amazing, I've never seen an animated battle that looked that good. The dialogue was great. And then you get to the scene on the operating table where Optimus Prime, this robot alien that you should not have any vested interest in, the actual toy company didn't think we had, as kids, had any vested interest in it. I was 7 when this came out, and I can tell you this is one of the very few movies in my life I have actually cried over. 7 years old, Optimus Prime dying on an operating table. What can I say? But from that point on, you get the new characters in the story. Megatron's gone, so Starscream tries to take control of the Decepticons in a hilarious scene. You feel bad for him because he's wanted to be the Decepticon leader for so long. He has this coronation and this crown. And Unicron reconfigures Megatron into Galvatron, and he comes in and just destroys him. It is a fantastic scene, but it also kind of gets me in the feels too, because you've wanted this for Starscream for so long. On the Autobot side, you also get all kinds of new characters like Hot Rod, who will eventually become the Autobot leader, kind of at the expense of Optimus Prime, which is why a lot of people That's why that character is so polarizing, we'll say. You get Cup, you get Springer, RC, Ultra Magnus, Blur, some really interesting characters. And the rest of the movie follows them and the Dinobots as they go to the Junkion planet, to the planet of Quintessa, where the Quintessons, who are a big part of Season 3 of Transformers, are from, until they have their big epic final battle with Unicron, which is great. You have all these Transformers fighting in the belly of this giant planet, and you have Galvatron and Hot Rod fighting over the Matrix of Leadership. And you find out why Unicron wants it disposed of and why he was using Galvatron for that by the end of the movie. But this movie, Transformers 86, is probably my favorite animated film of all time. There were so many good films that came out in that summer of 86. I think I was just going over my top 5, and all 5 were from that summer. And I used to rent this and probably drive my parents crazy as a 7-year-old kid at the video store. Oh, I want Transformers, Mom. I want Transformers. And it's still right there for me as one of the tops. And I don't know if there's any other movies, children's animated movies, that are like this dark, where they're killing off lots and lots of central characters all at one time like this. But that's one thing that kind of adds to the mystique for me. It's kind of one of a kind in that regard. As far as some things that I didn't like about the movie, there are some animation errors in it. It's like every Transformers episode. I have the entire G1 series at home. Probably the only cartoon that I actually own. Not ashamed to say. And while I like Galvatron in this movie, and he's really like an amped up Megatron in this movie, out for blood. I don't like what they did to his character in Season 3 of the cartoon. He's kind of psycho, really, and it doesn't fit for a Decepticon leader. As far as things I liked, nearly everything. This movie, the battles, the stuff in space, the stuff on Earth, that battle for Autobot City was really cool. I really liked the stuff between Hot Rod and Cup and the Dinobots, where they're talking about old war stories and everything. The scene where they're with the Quintessons and they're getting judged. How do you find them, innocent or guilty? Innocent, and then they fall into the Sharkticons. That whole scene, that whole segment of the movie was really cool. That's one of my favorite parts right there. So ranking Transformers the movie from 1986. The highest rated movie I've done through these first 4 episodes is They Live, and I think I gave it like a 7.7. This movie, while probably definitely not as good as They Live, I enjoy quite a bit more. I know a lot of it's nostalgia, and that's kind of cheating, but it's so well done. The animation is so well done. The film looks good. The soundtrack, I hadn't even touched on the soundtrack, is amazing. You've got the touch. Just all those songs are top notch, mid 80s, and the soundtrack by Vince DiCola is amazing. So as far as where I'd rank it, I kind of think an 8's too high. I'm really hard on ranking movies, really harsh, I should say, on ranking movies. I want to go 7.9. I'll go straight 8. Let's go straight 8 for Transformers the movie. It is the best Transformers movie. Michael Bay, Eat Your Heart Out. And it was a flop at the box office. Of course, most of those in my top 5 from 1986 will be flops at the box office. You'll find out that's kind of a ongoing thing with me. But anyway, until next time, this is Andrew. It's time to roll out. I've got better things to do tonight than die.